Hi folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we're going to make a simple pair of earrings using beads from the Jessie James Beads Mini Mix Baby Blanket. Now most of these beads are clear, though there is a couple of really faint yellow ones. But I think these are going to be really pretty. So let's turn down and we'll work on them. Okay, here are our beads we're going to use, as well as a few other things. All of these beads, other than these two Lotus Blossom spacers, are from the Mini Mix Baby Blanket by Jessie James Beads. The Lotus spacers came out of this mini mix from Jessie James Beads Pink Dragon Fruit. Now there's some really pretty dark blue pink beads in there, but these are more or less clear. So the only other things that I have got besides these are some ear wires. I like a lever back since it traps your ear inside this little cage, so to speak. It keeps them more safe. And all of these beads are from the baby blanket one. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this little drop here and put it at the bottom. Then we're going to put this beautiful English cut here on top of that. Then the lotus. Then our little tiny yellow bead will go above that. This tiny crystal spacer. And one of these hexagons. Like there. So that's about what they're going to look like. So I have gotten 2 pieces of 20 gauge gold German style wire out. I believe these are about 5.5 inches. Let's check. Not quite 5.5. Probably didn't need any more than 5, but I prefer to have a little extra as opposed to not enough. The first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to put our drop on. Now I'm going to do that by bending this wire over, feeding our drop onto here, then we're going to bend this wire again upwards. Now I made that a little deeper than I could have done. A little longer, as you can see, it's quite long. And if I decide it's too long, I will just, which it is sort of, I'm going to go in here again and I'm going to bend it up again, and then I'll just put my pliers across this where I had the bend before to straighten it some. So now that we've got those in there, what we want to do is bring these wires down together like so, till they make a triangle. Now as you can see, this one is not as deeply over as that one, so we're going to bend it a little more so it goes over there a bit more. And that's better. See how that looks? So now that I've got that done and they're crisscrossed, what we want to do is take this upper one, the long one, and bend it straight up, like so. Now, we'll grab them where they come together, and we'll bring this one down. Now we're going to wrap this one around, and I'm going to use a second pair of pliers because I like a second pair of pliers. I think I have more control that way. And we're just going to wrap it like 2 or 3 times. You can do 2, you could do 3. Well, actually, you can do as many as you want. You could, if you want. So we're going to cut that extra right there. And then we're going to tuck it in. Now that we have that on there, we're going to see how crooked we are. See, we're crooked here. We don't want that. We want to straighten that up. So we'll pull that up here. See how crooked we are over here? A little bit right here, so we'll straighten this wire out with our pliers a bit by just going over the bend where it's bent a little bit and just squish it down. And that looks pretty good. So we'll probably leave it pretty much like that, though I'm going to bring this wire a little tighter. There we go. See how that's a pretty good triangle now? And then we will start loading our beads on here. So I still am not real thrilled with this little bit right here. I don't know why, it just is bothering me. So anyway, let's feed our beads on. I really love that one. It's so pretty. Come on, where's your hole? There we go. I really like the hexagon too. I really think these are going to be a pretty pair of earrings. Now, because our ear wire is going to sit this way, and the hole is here, we want our loop to go this direction. So we'll put our pliers here and give it a 90-degree turn. Now that that's in, we will get our stepped bell making pliers. Now you can use round nose pliers for this if you wish. I always use stepped. It makes a more consistent loop in my opinion. So then I'm going to put the larger of the loop into where the curve is at, the smaller one up on top, and then we're going to take this wire and go up and over, drop this down, bring this over, and then straighten her up. And we're going to open this a little bit so our ear wire can go in. Now, because this has no definite front or back, you can feed your ear wire in either way, but I always feed it facing backwards so that I know that when I do have a front and back one, I won't forget to do it that way. So now that the ear wire's in, hold the wires together and wind them up. And then clip off the extra. And tuck it into the extra wire in here, being careful of our glass bead. Now there is our first earring done. Now this looks like it's just a touch crooked here, so I'm going to try straightening it there. And there is our really pretty little delicate, elegant, I think, earring. So now let's get started on the second one. So again, we just want to do the bend over. Slide our bead on. And this time, let's make sure we don't make a really huge triangle. But we don't want it to be too small either. So, oops. There we go. Okay, so now this one over here further. Now this one, we want them to be pretty consistent as far as our wire's triangular shape is concerned. Okay. Now that we've got them together, this one needs to go down just a hair's breadth more. There we go. We go in here and tip this long one up, take hold of here, bring this one down, and wrap it. I think we did 3 wraps on the other, so we want to do 3 wraps here as well. Then we'll trim it and tuck it in. Now let's see if we need to straighten it, and we do. See, it's tipped backwards. So we straighten it a little bit. This one is a little crooked from its bend, so we'll straighten it up some. There we go, and up. So here is our second bottom piece. Now we'll start feeding our beads on, starting with our big pretty crystal English cut. I do love that bead. And then our lotus yellow bead. And see how pale of a yellow this is. It's almost got no color to it. It's so pale. It's very pretty though. And there we go. So there's all our beads. Now we want to do that same thing again with our loop going this way, so that it will feed properly. So over it goes into our 90-degree angle. Then we grab our pliers, put them in with the small one up on the above, wrap around, come down, bring her over, leaving a little gap, straightening it up. Now we'll feed our ear wire on. Doesn't feel like I left enough gap, so we have to open it just a hair's breadth, just like you would a jump ring. There it goes. Now we'll grab it right here where they come together, and we'll wrap up this top piece. So we go 1, 2, 3, and 4, I believe is what we have over on the other one. And that's what feels like it's going to fit here. So we get in here and we trim our extra wire and carefully tuck in that little tail. Okay, now that we have that all on, we want to check for straightness. Looks pretty good. Straight up and down. Nope, we want to go over here just a hair. I may have done it a little too much. We'll see. Looks good, looks good. There we go. There is our second earring. And our pretty little crystal earrings are finished. Aren't those pretty? So anyway, there we have it. There is our pretty little crystal-y like earrings. Aren't those gorgeous? They're going to sparkle really nicely too. That we have made using mainly beads from the Jessie James Beads Mini Mix Baby Blanket. I think those turned out really gorgeous. Stop swinging so much, sweeties. And so, of course, the lotus spacers were out of pink dragon fruit. But boy, I think those are pretty. Aren't those cute? I really like how these turned out. I hope you like them too. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and we've been working with Jessie James Beads Mini Mixes. We'll speak to you later. Bye-bye.